Greetings, YouTube. The doctor is in. Dr. Urius Papers here coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. All right, it's time for another installment of the Doctor Spell Prognosis. And today we're talking about yet another cantrip. It's the next one in our list of cantrips in alphabetical order. It is Produce Flame. This is not too bad. I actually like this cantrip a bit. Is it the go-to choice for Druids? Maybe. It's usable by Druids. It's not usable for a lot of other things other than Druids. It's got some pros and cons. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but there are some decent pros. So it's a cantrip, takes an action. It has a range of self. It comes with verbal and somatic components. Verbal and somatic components. It has a duration of 10 minutes, so that's a plus. It's a duration of 10 minutes, and it doesn't require concentration. It can be ranged, and it has one other kind of minor effect. So you create a flame in your hand, doesn't hurt you, sheds light in a 10-foot radius and dim light in another 10-foot radius. So that is not as good as a torch, but it doesn't use a torch. You use, this flame that you can produce over and over and over again. So you can keep, I don't know why it has a 10-minute duration because it's a cantrip. I guess, if you're in the middle of combat and you need to do it again because it's an action. So, but it can provide a light. You can't produce two of them. You can only produce one of them because if you try and produce two of them, then the other one ends. You can hurl it, but hurling it also ends the spell. But you can hurl it 30 feet, which is not the greatest range in the world, but Druids don't have a lot of choices in this. And then it does D8 damage, and it's a ranged spell attack. So a D8 damage is okay. It does fire damage. There's a pro and a con to fire damage. The con to fire damage is there's a lot of stuff that is resistant to fire. The pro to fire damage, which I have found many times running games as a DM, but for the player side, is if they encounter trolls, it is a way to deal with a troll. And there's nothing worse than being in a party and going up against trolls and not having a way to stop their regeneration because they just keep popping up and going down and popping up and going down. So this is a good answer to a troll. And most of the answers to trolls are cantrips or very simple items like Alchemist Fire. So this is a good answer for that. It does fire damage, it takes care of them. Now, is this the best choice for a druid? That is remain to be seen. So as a druid, as a first level druid, you only get 2 cantrips. That's not much, and you get 3 at 4th level. So it's you don't get another one for a while, and you only get up to 4. So, is this going to be one of the choices you take at first level? I don't know. That there, if you're looking for something that has good range, then that might not be the best thing. There are a couple other choices, but druids are pretty limited in the choices they get for cantrips that have range. So let's take a look at those here. So, control flames and create bonfire. Create bonfire can do damage. It has very circumstantial damage, and we've talked about it. It does a D8. It's a saving throw. Anybody that's in the area takes damage when it's cast. So that has a 60-foot range. Frostbite, which is one of my favorite spells. Again, it's a saving throw, but it's a Constitution saving throw. We talked about this when it does a D6 damage, and their next weapon attack is at disadvantage. There is that's it. That's basic. We're looking at the druid levels. We got Frostbite, we got Create Bonfire, and we've got Produce Flame. And and it says self, but it's really a range of 30 feet. We haven't talked about Thorn Whip yet. We're not going to talk about it yet because that's coming up. So there's not really much of a choice unless you want to have 2 different kinds of damage. And fire damage, unfortunately, because of those circumstances where you come up against trolls, is really important. And there are some creatures that are vulnerable to fire. And it becomes important at that instance too. So, I mean, that is pretty much, the line of thinking that I would go through for this. If you need a quick and dirty light source, that's also also another good reason for to use this spell. So, but other than that, I mean, you get two choices, and really, it depends on the kind of druid you're making. But two choices at first level is not a lot. So, all right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.